You are listening to The Lounge. Welcome to The Lounge. Relax. Listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. Relax and listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. You are listening to The Lounge. You are listening to The Lounge. Welcome to The Lounge. Relax. Listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. Relax and listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. You are listening to The Lounge. You are listening to The Lounge. Welcome to The Lounge. Relax. Listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. Relax and listen to The Lounge. Listen to The Lounge. You are listening to The Lounge. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Thank you
again for joining the Lounge Talk. It is a privilege and an honor just to come before you all, get my preacher accolades out the way. No, for real though, thank y'all for joining the Lounge Talk. We appreciate you. We thank you so much. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so, please like and share. Like and share. We're on Facebook and YouTube live tonight. Brothers, how y'all doing?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty good.
Oh, we on the air now.
All the way live.
We live, we live. Uh Thank y'all again for joining the Lounge Talk tonight. Again, is a touchy subject. We always do touchy subjects, but tonight is really a touchy subject. Uh, Especially during the holidays. Um, we're gonna deal with tonight the topic of grief. Now, grief has a broad spectrum, but I want you to tag somebody or share this with somebody who has lost somebody, going through the process of grief, and not just with a person, but grief with anything, grief of losing anything, a job, a friendship, disconnect with family members. Grief affects everybody, but grief affects everybody differently. So listen, if you've lost somebody close to you, go ahead and listen in and chime in on this because we all have lost somebody, especially with me, P, and Nick. We've all lost somebody close to us, and not just through death aspect, but we've lost friendships that we had to grieve over. Not just friendships, but jobs that we had to grieve over, or maybe it was a goal or a career that just shattered. And so, listen, tag somebody. Um, because listen, grief is not easy to deal with. Whoever tells you that just hurry up and get over it, they really ain't never dealt with grief like that, or they lying to you because grief is one of the toughest things to get through. I'm never gonna tell you you're gonna get over it, but you get through it. Nobody gets over anybody, but you get through it. So we're gonna talk about grief tonight. Let the fellas go ahead and go first. So, how do y'all handle? And whoever want to go first, how do y'all handle grief? And I'll come back at the
All
end.
right. I guess I go first since we'll work it down the line. Um, I'll just say, I say from the beginning, as a child, when I first experienced, I guess you could say, physical grief with a loved one, it was probably my grandmother, one of my grandmothers. Um, and I was a young lad, probably 6, 7 or whatever. Um, what's so crazy, God has allowed me in my years to still remember the times that I shared with my grandmother. I'll let y'all in briefly. Used to stay in the East End and used to ride the cat bus, public transportation. Used to go downtown, and my favorite show to watch with her back in the day was The Price is Right. And it's like nostalgia. I remember sitting on the floor. She used to cut up apples for me, take the skin off, you know what I'm saying? Straight privilege, so I enjoyed it. But I remembered those times, and as a 37-year-old man, I can still go back and just remember it was like it was yesterday. Now, the fact that she's gone, at the time, I couldn't really process it, but I just knew life was different because I wasn't going to grandma's house no more. Uh, but the Lord still allowed the blessings because I had another grandmother on my father's side that she basically filled in the gap, I guess you could say, for the rest of my life. But she's resting as well. Now that one hit a little different because I was older. I was able to process and understand or understood what was going on. So, of course, in any type of grief, usually there's some tears shed. And I encourage anybody who's ever gone through grief or going through grief is, hey, let it out. Don't
Yes.
ball it up because you end up with migraines, body aches,
Yes,
You
make yourself
mentally
sick.
you mentally break. Like it's multitude of things that can happen. So anybody that's grieving, just surround yourself. If you would like support, then cool. Like James said earlier, everybody grieves differently. Some people like to be reclusive, be alone, kind of be in a room screaming out, cried out, do push-ups, work it out, or whatever it is to help you kind of get through. But let them tears go, because I know for me as a man, you know, we all in the same boat. Usually growing up, they tell you, you know, don't cry, you know, be tough, suck it up. But
Got to be a man.
you got to be a man. But that grief hit different.
Yeah, I do.
And I've learned to appreciate the release in the years that I am now. And I encourage any young man or young woman, or even older man and older woman, to take care of yourself, and during the grieving process, just be in it, but allow yourself to go through it. Because sometimes we find people in life will stay there. Like the grief or losing of either the person or the opportunity is the be all end all. And we can't get, I know it's hard at that time, but we can't stay stuck there. There has to be something. So if you do believe that there is a God, or, you know, spirit, or whatever you deem on here, we chop it up to the Most High.
Jesus Christ.
You feel me? So we rely on that
Right.
to hold us, because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And we have to be okay with it not making sense, but knowing that there
Right.
is another day. What's that? Annie, with the sun to come out tomorrow. Bet you by God.
Yeah.
You gotta know that the sun is gonna come out tomorrow. Right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hold on and have some hope and faith in the Most High God, for sure. But to speed up as far as how I've dealt with grief and dealing with grief, because it's real fresh on me right now. I lost one of the greatest father-in-laws. I only had one. I lost him last week. We had the funeral this past Saturday. And it's been tough for the Cunningham family. Shout out to y'all. Y'all super strong. That dude that had the family choir, like they kind of all got up together and knocked out a selection out and didn't even practice. But them some
we don't gotta practice, bruh. church folk know how to. We know how to do it on the spot,
man, bro. But the strength that they showed and the resilience to send off Papa C was a beautiful thing. And I know y'all can attest to this. Like my father-in-law had one of the biggest spirits I've ever met. And I think also too, I was able to relate to him because we were similar in ways, kind of quiet, but still could be jokesters and that type of stuff. And he was a man who could do like jack of all trades. This dude work on cars, build a house, like just everything. He got knowledge for days. You wouldn't even expect that he was on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate him for pouring into me, because he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? But he did. And he grabbed it because we was on, as Nick said earlier, real recognize real. And I believe he did. And he poured into me because he seen something I had. Plus, he wanted his daughter to win as well, you know. So she winning, by the way.
Win time.
She winning.
Talk about it.
But in my older years now, as far as how I'm taking on the grief, is I understand that it's ordained.
Yes.
There's no way around it. I think my father has told me multiple times, it's an appointment you didn't set, but it show who one you're gonna keep. So
most definitely,
it's trying to continue to daily just digest that and not be afraid of it. You know, knowing it's gonna come, but making sure, as my boy Miles Monroe says, making sure we die empty. So anything that I desire or I want to leave behind a legacy is making sure every day that I get up 10 toes down and try to make it happen.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm gone, anybody that know me and love me, my body might not be here, but my spirit's still gonna be here, and they're gonna be able to carry on just like them cats did in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? They passing the baton. So and my flame is never going out. You feel me?
Right.
So it was tough earlier in the days, this grief, and it's still tough now, but I have a better understanding of it, a more God-like perspective, which has allowed me to continue to grow on a daily basis to be okay.
I'm gonna show your wife's comment. Back out.
Oh, high tech. Yeah.
And shout out to Berniga. My condolences to
Sure.
you and your family. Grief is definitely something that you don't prepare for. I remember 2010, on my way home from Gain Street Baptist Church, Pastor Kelly had preached, had his fourth service at Gain Street, and I get a call, I believe it was from my sister, you know, mom passed. And how she passed was what got me. It's because it was unexpected. And we have to, either way, grieving unexpectedly or, you know, expectantly, it's tough. I remember trying to process, not knowing, you know, what to do, instant regret, because our last conversation, I was kind of froggy with her. I was, you know how dudes be with their mom. I'm like, oh, you tripping, bro. I don't feel like hearing all that. That was the last conversation I had, and I felt guilty. And I want to speak to somebody who's lost somebody, and their last conversation, it wasn't good. They know you loved them. God knows you love them. Forgive yourself and grieve. Let it go. Let it out. It's okay. It's okay. You didn't get as much time as you wanted, and you may have got all the time in the world, but still it's not enough. Because once you lose somebody, we understand this, that listen, we'll never see them again on this side. But of course we'll see them on the other side. And y'all, it is one of the most difficult things, especially somebody that is close to you, that you know, you could call at the drop of a hat. And for that to be taken from you, you feel like you've been robbed. But you know, like P said, we all gotta cross. If Jesus tarries, we all crossing that Chili Jordan. It's an old preacher say. We all gotta cross that way. So one thing we can do is prepare ourselves and prepare, not really prepare for the day of that grief that will come, but allow God to mold your heart and fix your heart to where you know that God is in control of all situations. And listen, it's difficult, y'all, because listen, I'm telling you, I'm sitting on it. I was coming in, key in the door, about to watch some TV, and I get a phone call. Hey, mom's gone. What? And now I'm lost. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm on myself. I didn't forgive myself because I instantly, the last conversation I had was played in my mind. And so I had to, you know, ask God, please, you know, let me get through this. And my family going through now. I lost my uncle a couple of days ago. It's craziness, but I'm glad God gives us the assurance to know that we'll see our family members again. Nick can go ahead, bro, because I can go 35, 40 minutes on this topic.
Bro, how can I follow that? I ain't gonna lie to you. Like y'all was going in, and I think like y'all took me back. You know what I mean? To like, I didn't even show up here with the grieving mindset. You know what I mean? So, but we all can relate, like going there. You know what I'm saying? You know what you felt. You probably remember the smells. You know what I mean? But like, honest to God, truth, like I feel like I've grieved in my life, not two instances, but in two different ways. Right. So one way is like physically, or physically. Well, let's just say physically, with like my family. You know what I'm saying? Family that died. So my first ever death that I ever witnessed, that like not witnessed, but I'm saying like that traumatized me, was Michael Jackson. Like I can remember I was in Houston, Texas. I was, this was right after Katrina. My folks from New Orleans. This after Katrina, we went to Houston, whatever, and I could just remember like watching it on TV, and it seemed like the world stopped. Like I was that kid moonwalking. Like so, he had a real
Most
impact.
definitely.
So like that affected me deeply. Like that really affected me. And then I can remember like after that, when I come back to Arkansas, I was in church, random day. My mom got a phone call in church, and she answered it right then and there. My mom had never done that, so I knew this was like something. I didn't know what at the time. So my mama just say, "Hey, let's step outside," and I was like, "Oh, I'm in trouble." I don't know who called. So we go outside. We in the church parking lot. And next thing you know, I seen like the youth pastor walking out, then the assistant pastor walking out, and I don't know how they knew, but she told me. She said, "Hey, feel free to feel how you feel, but your granny just passed." And what's so crazy is like I ain't know how to accept that.
Right.
It hit me, and that was the first real losing of somebody that I love. Right, you know what I mean? And that's when I think a lot changed. Now I've started thinking every other day after that, like, wow, my day's numbered. You know what I mean? You start being a little bit careful. You know what I'm saying? I don't even walk under ladders. I'm trying to be you feel what I'm saying? Like, for real. So it's like, bro, it hurt and it hit me in such a way that you know what I'm saying? Like this kid who always getting in trouble, now thinking before I act. Just off this one instant. Thinking before I act, thinking before I speak, you know what I'm saying? And it traumatized me. Then my other granny died, and then that was traumatizing. It was like you said, I was a little bit older, and I had been thinking about this idea of death. Right. So I had kind of been preparing myself, like, hey, who's next? You try your best not to think more of it like that, but it's a reality, bro. Like you said, you know what I'm saying? All our days numbered. And so I could just literally, I remember like the second one, I was a little bit more mature, and I tried to be this strong, man, for my mom, for my brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? I just tried to be this, masculine figure for the family. And the second, man, I grabbed that casket, I broke.
Oh yeah.
Like I broke, but I'm still holding it. You know what I mean? Like my glasses is on. But it's so much pain that these glasses is not even
to the shade wearers.
close to it's not even close to hiding this pain whatsoever, bro. And I could just remember like, man, just wanting to break down and jump in the casket with it, because this was my closer grandma. This is my mom's mom. You know what I'm saying? But then the other two times was my brother and my uncle that's on my chain.
Gotcha.
And my uncle really kind of like raised me. My dad was locked up majority of my life, for sure. And it's just like every time I would go to New Orleans, my granny would work and my uncle would just be there chilling at the crib. He like Tommy never had a job. Never had a job. It was always food in the kitchen.
You made it happen.
When she left from here, it was always food in the kitchen, and we always had Kool-Aid for sure.
Wow.
And so it was just like when he passed, it felt like my dad had
Right.
Like for real. And him and my brother died the same way. They both died to gun violence.
Wow.
Literally. They both shot and killed. You know what I'm saying? And on the same porch that I was raised in.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my other brother, it was a situation that happened at Twin Peaks. And to this day, I ain't been back to Twin Peaks.
Wow.
To this day, not in Chicago, Twin Peaks, nowhere.
No.
I can't. Like, you know what I mean? I can't. And so, just the really kind of deter back to the topic of actual grieving, bro. I think like neither one have more importance or deference over either one. They all hurt. It was like soon as you think you healed, it was a constant reminder, and something else hit me. You know what I mean? Somebody else passing away hit me, and it struck me, man, and it really did something different to my mind. Now that's in the physical. Remember I said it's two different ways. I think mentally, I died a few times, and I've grieved a few times. Because like you always evolve. Like the evolution of yourself is so crazy, to even try to understand and wrap your mind around. Like for real, bro. But like, bro, when and it's funny, bro, because I get emotional because these, like, y'all know me. Bro. But it's like when it came to football, bro, like I know I didn't love the game. Like 100%, but you can look up any highlight of me, bro. I didn't play with the game.
Right.
I was fighting for something way deeper, for the platform, for the to like God, so God can get the glory. It's not an interview that you can ever look up and Google me in that I don't bring up God's name first.
Right.
If they ask me how did you get here, man, God is the greatest. So I always gave God his reference. I learned that from my granny, my second granny that died, my mom's mom. And it's just like, no matter what you do, no matter how far you go, always give God the credit and always read your Bible. And I was like, that. And that's when it really hit. Yeah. And bro, I could just remember like not feeling like I needed to do a farewell. Man, thank y'all so much for all the support. Right. I didn't feel obligated for that at all, bro. Not one bit. Yeah. I never felt like that was you know what I mean? I gave it my all. Right. Sure. Right. But I just knew like, it was like put to rest. Yeah. Most you know what I mean? Like I feel like it was put to rest. I feel like, all right, this is what you wanted out of it. You got it. You made a name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, and you gave God the glory every ounce of the way. Right. So now at this point, what's the transition? And it got dark, bro. Ooh. That's a whole nother podcast. But that got dark, bro. And that's where I can say I was grieving my mindset. Because like I wanted to ride that wave at the highest and the most elite level with the most amount of attention that you can get, with the most amount of eyes. Like a lot of people don't enjoy attention, or they may say, I don't like attention. I don't want it. I love it. Yeah. I want to attract it. I want to calculate every bit of attention that I get. Calculate it. Yeah. I don't just want random attention. Right. Just to glorify. I want to calculate it. Spook that set by the door. Like real talk. Like real talk. Like I want to calculate it, and then boom. I'm like a mirror, so when the sun hit a mirror and that's gonna try to put you on God. But you might think it's about me, right? So like, that's another. I've been grieving that, like you know what I'm saying. So it could get deep. Yeah, I ain't gonna.
No, and that's what we want to do. We want to dissect and get to the stages, you know, of grief. I know there's that initial shock, or there's that initial regret. Yeah. You're gonna go through one of the other or both, and sometimes we got to get to a place to where we grieve properly. Yeah. Because if you don't grieve properly, it's going to show up at the wrong time. You'll be hooping, and hey, this happened to me before, bro. You be hooping. Man, I gotta go. What's on? Nah, something reminded me of something because I haven't let that stuff out. Right. Or I'll be singing a song that my mama sung, and then I just shut down. Yeah. Because I haven't grieved properly. Right. Cry, grieve, go through that process, pray, and it's okay to be mad at God. Yeah. Because a lot of folk, what? No, you can't be mad.
Not the pastor said that.
It's okay. We don't think God's big enough for you to be mad. There are situations in our life, I'm sure of, that you said, God, what you doing?
Yeah, nah, for real. Yes. Hey, say, bro. Let me holler at you. Look, God, I'm gonna be real. You own one right now. I need you to calm down. Yes. Like, you're going a little too crazy.
Yes, there are certain times where I was like, God, I was building with my mom. I was building this close relationship, and I feel like you took her from me at the peak of our relationship. Yeah. Or God, you know what? Why would you do stuff like that? You took my pops from me. I feel like it's not fair. And I see other kids at they senior night walking with their parents, and it was just me and my grandmother who raised me. I call her mama, but you know, it was just her, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you, George Franklin. Thank you so much. But it hurt me that, you know, my dad wasn't there. Mom was in California, and then 3 years later, now she gone. I'm like, dude, this sucks. Right. This sucks. Everybody else got their parents. Lord, what about me? Yeah, I didn't ask to be put in this situation. Right. Yeah. It's kind of, I feel like you disrespected me a little bit, Lord. I thank you for your grace and mercy. Thank you, but this ain't fair. Right. This ain't fair. And God had to really deal with me about life. Mm-hmm. And things ain't gonna go your way. And sometimes people we think that are supposed to last forever, sometimes they go too soon in our eyes. I remember when Kobe passed. Oh, yeah. I'm a Laker fan. I got the banner hanging up. I'm a
all
Laker
facts.
fan.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
Kobe passed, I felt like the Lakers died.
yeah.
We can't. Ain't no more
Talk about
Lakers.
it.
Ain't no more
Talk
Lakers.
about it. Talk
Ain't no
about
more
it.
Showtime. Nothing.
Yeah.
And you know,
Basketball, NBA is over.
yeah, it's over. And it for like Nick said, for a minute, the world stops.
No, for real.
Yeah.
No, for real.
There's no gravity. There's no nothing. How am I supposed to continue in this life when mom's is gone? To this day, Thanksgiving, because she died around 2-3 days before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Thanksgiving sucks.
Yeah.
Not the same.
It's not the same.
Right.
But you know, one thing, and Crystal's helping me. She was like, "I know you have bad memories, but God is fortunate enough. God has given you the grace now to have new memories with my family and with her family." And I thank God for that, because if I didn't have new memories and dwelt on bad ones all the time,
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it.
Nope.
Right.
And so it's important, y'all, that we grieve, and not just with loved ones. Grieve that career you wanted, but it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Grieve that
Yeah.
you were supposed to make it to the top of the top,
Straight up.
but you didn't get to.
Yeah.
Grieve that. It's okay. Be disappointed. God had other plans for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I share two things?
Go ahead, man.
There's
Go
two
ahead.
things that as you was talking that came up to my mind. Number one is my uncle
Mhm.
messed my head up, who is now, passed away, and
Right.
helped me give his daughter advice.
Wow.
Literally, like, you know what I'm saying? This is my auntie's husband, but Uncle Scotty. We call him
Uncle
Uncle Scotty. My
Scotty.
uncle.
Scotty.
I never hit him with no in-law,
None of that.
My uncle.
Yeah.
Like, for real. So,
Right.
man, he all I known growing up, you know what I'm saying? It was one of my uncles, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just can remember, like, my brother died, and he told me, like, bro, he said, and this, I'm not that old.
Right.
Like, he said, I'm gonna tell you like this: he ain't coming back. You ain't never gonna feel the same. You'll never be the same.
Right.
But you're gonna get through it.
Yes.
And at first, I was offended by it. I was offended. He was like, he ain't coming back. You ain't never gonna stop crying.
Right.
And you never going. The hurt ain't never going nowhere.
Like, man.
And I'm like,
Why would you say
you know,
that?
pulling on my pants a little bit.
Right.
I'm like, bro, what you trying to say to me, bro?
Right.
Like, it's my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hurt.
Yeah.
But like, and all, in the grand scheme of things, like, bro, that helped me.
Yeah.
But that's how I had to hear it,
Mhm.
and I had to hear it like
sure.
that, or I don't think I would have really fully took it in, or I would have let that affect like my workflow or the way I love people, or the way I feel like I would have let that sink in, and it starts to take over. A lot of the time, sickness comes from stress.
Woo.
Number
Yes, it
one.
do.
Real,
It
for
do.
real, for
Killer.
real. So like,
Yeah,
real
it do.
talk. Something like, and I felt it so deep in my chest, like my heart was just tight. Bro, it was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I
most
couldn't take it, but I just never forgot that. And then when he passed, I ran to tell my cousin.
Right.
And I was like, you want to know what your dad told me?
Right.
When my brother died, he told me, and then I spit it to her, and she was like, wow. And she was like, I thank you. And it hit home, bro. It hit home. And she was like, that's what I need to hear from my dad.
For sure.
Most definitely.
And he never told her.
Oh, wow.
So you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I felt like
Pass
one,
it
that was
on.
another reason, kind of, you know what I'm saying? I don't think
Mhm.
No, of course.
but him telling me that was kind of like an underlying spiritual
Right.
thing, to where it was like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, that was crazy though.
Yep.
And I never
Wow.
knew why he ever told me that until he passed.
For
And
sure.
then I ran, like, it hit me like, and that nobody could calm her down.
Right.
She was just stressed.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
and when I said that, like, instantly see her back posting on social media,
Mhm.
selling her hair, doing, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
doing these
yeah.
things, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was
Bro,
just crazy for me to see.
It helps. That motivation helps, and sometimes God will motivate you.
For sure.
I was if you ever read in Joshua chapter 1, Moses died. This is so funny. God start off the rip, but in Joshua chapter 1, Moses died, and Israel grieving process was 30 days. They went through this mourning process. And then God tells Joshua, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now get up and go cross the Jordan.
Right.
You would think God is insensitive, but sometimes we can wallow in our grief so much that we can miss our destiny.
Yeah, buddy.
And when God, what he shows us with death with anything, he shows us time is limited. Get up and do what I've called you to do. Second, he shows you, listen, you've been dependent on this person. Now I want you to be
Not for real.
dependent
Not for real.
on me.
Jay, not for real though.
Straight up.
Not
All
for real.
facts.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't run into him until he's the only person that you can run to.
Woo.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Most
And
definitely.
it hit different. Like you get comfortable though.
Mhm.
Like you get, and I'm gonna tell you something else, bro. I never shared this ever, like except for talking to my other brother. I never shared this, but it can really get deep for you. I asked God to like remove anybody
Woo.
right before my brother died. I asked God like remove anybody, and that's that. You talk about arguing with God, that hurt me, bro.
Now, what
Real
you
talk,
doing?
Right.
Like what do you mean? But I was so comfortable.
Mhm.
And I don't know why to this day I don't think I understand fully in totality why that happened.
Right.
But
Mhm.
that was the prayer I pray. And to the day I ain't prayed that prayer.
Right.
I'm like, God, help me deal with whoever ain't supposed to be around. Like that
Right.
scared me, bro. Being at that age, like that scared me, bro, for real. So like, bro, yeah, it's traumatizing, bro. Traumatizing.
It
Real
is.
talk.
It is. And we gotta understand. I'm gonna let you go, people.
No, you good.
Uh, And one thing that stuck out to me when I was reading it is how Joshua, he got up and pursued what God called him to do. Sometimes it takes death to push you and to motivate you to do what God has called you to do.
Not for real.
Yeah.
I knew I was called to preach when I was 17, 18.
Oh, that's
Knew it.
wow.
P knew me.
Yeah.
I wasn't stud, bruh. Preaching and
Last thing.
getting the ladies. I ain't gonna say getting the H word, but that's all was on my mind.
Krista
bruh.
Cookett.
That was
man.
it.
Krista,
That was
Paige
it. I ain't
Paige
wanna.
Miss
I
Krista,
don't wanna.
if you could please make a make
I
your
don't
way
wanna
on down to
preach.
the podcast, bro.
I don't want to do nothing. I want to be in these streets.
Boy, redeemed.
And God was like, really? And then I'm used to playing the key. I'm like, that's all I want to do. Play the key,
Music,
do what
boy,
I
wanted
want to do.
But I wanted to be Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then going up the steps to my apartment, I get this phone call, your mom passed. Bam. And God starts saying,
Boy, nah.
you ain't got the time you think.
Yeah.
Wake up. Because I remember in Isaiah 6, when the king Isaiah died, that's when Isaiah saw God. Sometimes it takes death. And not just with people. Sometimes it just takes a dead situation
No, for real.
to
Yeah.
produce you and push you
Sure.
into the life that God has for you.
Yeah.
We can't experience life until something dies.
Bro, the most beautiful
Yeah.
things happen after death.
Man.
Wildfires,
Woo.
you see some of the most beautiful flowers
Yeah.
immediately after
The
a
comeback
wildfire.
is
Yes.
major.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I think you have to die to live.
Yeah.
Being real.
You
That's
do.
Like, you gotta die to
you
live.
gotta die.
Yeah.
Seriously.
For sure.
Even God requires you to
Yep.
die to yourself.
He does.
Come on.
You
Yep.
can't be fully what God has called you to be
Until
unless
you die.
you die to yourself.
Until you die.
Kill the
Because
flesh.
he ain't gonna have ain't no egos with God.
Yeah,
It's either
zero.
my way or nobody way.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for real. Not for real. No, for real.
real.
Shoot.
While you guys were talking, I always think about, we in this era where they say the internet is undefeated.
Right.
Right. And as we was talking, and like you say, you can always go back. The past is undefeated as well. Anything that happens, any emotion, anything, it comes right back.
Hey,
to
that's
you.
heavy, bro.
Think of it.
Hey, you spitting, bro. That's
So,
heavy.
like James said, it's important for us to realize that we have to go through. I know we done been through it. No family members that been through it, and you all too that's watching. We know people who stayed in the valley,
Woo.
stayed there,
Living there.
still there. And I was talking to my big bro the other day, and he had said, what did he say? He said, you can't be a brother to somebody who doesn't want a brother. Right. So I know during the grieving process, you might be the one to try to help a person who's grieving, or trying to be that support for them, or, call them or give them some chicken, or, whatever your process is of support. But if you are reaching out, don't be offended when they push you away,
Woo.
because it's gonna happen.
Life.
It's
No, that's real, though.
It's part of it. And sometimes, like Nick was saying, was coming through and was giving them the facts, like this is what it is. It's hard at the time to accept those things, but if you continue to put your foundation in God and realize the process as best as possible, even if you're not in the grieving process and somebody is, it's making sure that you're still tapped in and just letting them know, hey, I'm here. Now I know everybody hears this when they're going through the grieving process.
You don't want to. That's another thing. Can we please talk about grieving etiquette, bro?
Yeah.
Can we please talk
I
about
was just
grieving
about
etiquette, bro?
I was just about to
Man,
talk
bro,
about
like for real, bro. Like, man, don't you know, bro? It's nothing you could do for somebody when they grieving, bro. Can we just all together just stop trying to help people? Because it's like what you think is helping is not. When I finally clear my mind, you come back like, man, and they always touch your shoulder for some reason. Man, I'm so sorry for your loss, bro.
Whatever I could do.
Instantly, now you like every other thing. You could be in the McDonald's drive-thru. How can I help you today? You know what?
I ain't want no McChicken no more.
So let me get a McChicken.
Yeah.
Like, cause you ruined
Yeah.
like so, but like,
Cheese
it's
on
no
it.
way.
Right.
Talk about that, bro. How y'all feel about that? Or give me a situation
Bruh.
that you've been in where
Yeah.
somebody thought they was
People-
helping, but they hurting.
When you grieving, think, and I hate this.
Yeah.
I see this all the time at weddings and at funerals.
Yeah.
Attention seekers.
Oh,
For the wrong attention.
yeah.
You at the door?
Yeah, nah, for real.
Yeah,
Talk
you at the
about
door?
Who ain't put no money to the funeral.
it. Ooh.
Shut up. You ain't on program.
Oh yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah.
It ain't about you. It's about who's ever at the front,
Yeah.
who's really going through. Because
Yeah.
everybody want to put themselves into the grieving process.
Yeah.
Nobody like grieving. Nobody like
No, for
losing
real.
folks.
No, for
But
real.
these narcissistic
also
folks.
too, on the opposite side of that, if at the funeral, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But say I pass and you don't know what I mean to somebody else, and you see them make a post. Is my family who is genuinely close to me and genuinely knows me, I don't feel like you don't have the right to disdain somebody else grieving about me. You don't know the relationship that me and that person shared. Now,
No.
wholeheartedly, they may be attention seekers out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, bro, let people grieve. Like, you don't know the relationship.
Right.
I didn't introduce you to them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So-
I get that.
But go ahead.
But I'm talking about folk who want inside detailed
Yeah. So what
information.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't there.
So
Right.
Yeah,
so
no. I wasn't there. I wasn't
how
there.
she
Okay.
died. Don't-
Okay.
Of course, when I get to that,
Right.
I'm gonna share that with you.
I should.
Yeah.
How she died? What she look like? What you gonna put her on? What you gonna put them on in the casket?
Right.
What kind of casket? Don't talk to me about that, bro. And you ain't been around in 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
Family
coming
or
around-
not? It doesn't matter.
It don't matter who. he
Family.
is.
Okay.
Not at that
Okay.
point.
Okay.
If you didn't put
Okay.
no money towards this,
Be quiet.
Right.
hush.
Okay.
Take several seats.
All right.
Because many people want attention
Nah, for
at
real.
the wrong time.
I got a question for both of y'all.
What's
Is
up?
the loudest person at the funeral faking?
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Because I done
Okay.
seen some mamas.
Okay.
their son
Okay.
funeral.
Okay.
Yeah.
I done seen that, and that's a cry I will never get out my head.
Yeah, nah,
when
for
a,
real.
when a
Nah,
mama
for real.
lose a child.
Nah, for real, for real.
But some folk,
Talk about it.
some folk,
Talk about it.
some folk, and when I say some folk, it's some people that get to the casket
Yeah.
and fall all out and be the first one in line
Yeah.
at the repast,
Yeah.
tearing up all the food.
Yeah.
If you really grieving, you ain't hungry.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I'm sorry.
You ain't lying
I'm
though.
yelling.
ain't
My
hungry.
fault.
He ain't lying though. He ain't lying.
You be the first one cutting up. No, you can't ride in a family car.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Where
You
been?
didn't put in.
Yeah.
So-
Where you been?
First one turn their blinkers on when they doing it. When they going to the barrier point. First one turn their blinkers on. And they cut you off.
Yeah, quickly.
I remember when we was hush.
Yeah.
Man, you should
It
stop
ain't
at every
about.
stoplight
It's
for that.
not about you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about
That's
the
real.
ones that are really, and you may be really hurting.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But if you fifth, sixth cousin, have some respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put
Have some respect for the ones that are in the circle.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, friends can't grieve over friends, because we just lost a friend of ours not too long ago.
Right.
But we knew our place though.
We did, bruh.
Okay, so walk me through that. Walk me through that.
So
what was y'all?
if a certain person went on program, you didn't
Uh-huh.
put yourself on there
Exactly. We was
Why?
asked. Yeah.
because you respect
You respect.
the program.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do.
Everybody don't know that though, James. Don't say that. Like
Everybody
that's
don't know
common
that.
sense, bro.
Well, I'm about to
I
teach
don't
y'all.
like when he do that, brother. P, that's not common sense for everybody.
I'm about to
bro.
give you etiquette right
Teach
now.
them. There you go. There
If
you
your
go.
name is not printed
Yeah,
on the
On the-
wedding program,
yeah, or the
the
film,
church program,
ooh, or the
the
film.
funeral program,
This is trauma, guy. We
the
is
program or program, it don't matter.
He's grieving over
Do
past previous
not
trauma. We trying to
put
get it all out
yourself
of there.
On program.
100.
That's so
100.
disrespectful.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
Nah, for real. Yeah.
If we wanted you on program,
You would have been on the
we
program.
would have called you months in advance
Right.
And
And prepared you.
and,
Yeah,
and,
prepared.
and say, listen, hey, so and so, she's transitioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to sing. That ain't your time. If your name ain't on there,
To
to
get up
sing.
At the 2 minute mark.
Somebody,
It's 2 minutes.
yeah. Somebody that get up there. I never forget.
Yeah.
That was a time that we went to Dollar General, and she told me she loved this song,
And trash.
and I just thought that I would share it with you all.
Bruh, it's driving. When people are trying to grieve, let them grieve. I lost a mama, but I'm not gonna go to somebody else who lost their mama and tell you I know how you feel because no.
Those are the words. I ain't gonna lie to
You
you.
don't know how they
I
feel?
I hate hearing that.
Right.
Genuinely, not for real. I hate hearing that. I so much so don't even say that anymore. And I got. I mean, granted, I'm guilty of saying it before.
Right.
But once I was made aware, like I try to make it my business. To
Mhm.
never,
It's
like, I
different.
try my best for
Right.
What I do is shut up and I'm there.
I'm
Right.
there.
Right.
If they
here.
crying,
Right.
tissue.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some people don't even wait till you come to them. That's another thing. Like it'll be a whole lot easier if you just like, because the best thing I ever heard was if you need me, holler.
Yeah.
Simple.
Woo.
If you need me, holler.
Yep.
I don't need the sentimental.
No.
If you need me, bro, holler.
Holla.
Because what
Mhm.
can you? I don't care how close we is.
No.
You
My
can't
blood
do nothing.
brother can tell me that. Like no
Right.
matter what happened, and no matter how close or how far you, bro, if you need me, holler.
I'm here.
You can't do nothing.
That-
Like
because
what
it's
you gonna
nothing.
do?
This is me.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going through.
Right.
So
What
yeah,
you, what
that's to
can
your
you
point.
what
To your
can
point.
you do? Like that's
Yeah.
why I tell like what can you cannot do anything.
The
I've
first
been-
thing I'm gonna say, bring them back.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Just
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
You can't bring
Exactly.
them back. Leave me alone. Yeah.
And that's
for real.
something. Sometimes they be like, James, you spiritual, you minister, and I just be like, listen, I don't know what God doing. I don't know.
Right.
It's okay not to know.
Yeah.
And allow people to grieve.
Right.
Why did God take this person from me?
That's another thing, bro. I'm sorry. So many things. So many things are
Yeah.
flawed in my rap.
Right.
Wait. This is one of the things that's uncomfortable for me, bro. You go to a wedding and somebody was in the streets and they
Yes.
pass away. Those are the most awkward funerals ever.
Woo.
Because the pastor get up there and say anything.
Yeah.
Pastor be out there, man, this brother here. Y'all know all the good things that he had in store. And y'all know how turn with me. What do But those be so awkward to me though.
Wow.
Those be so
Tell the
awkward.
truth.
Like what good things could you say? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you had to, somebody asked you to speak, okay, hey, son got shot, it was in the street. What's your approach? What's a better, like what's your
When I do a eulogy,
Mhm.
and if the person wasn't saved, or if they lived that
right,
what
right,
Tupac
right,
said, that thug life,
right.
what I can't say nothing about them right now. I'm about to talk to y'all.
Right.
Okay.
And so this is preachers. This is pulpit etiquette. This is pulpit etiquette right
yeah.
here.
Right.
Once the person passes, there's nothing that you can say to help or hurt them.
Yeah.
They are in the hands of the Lord.
Facts.
We got to talk to the people
Still here.
who's still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to talk to them.
Yeah.
We are going to eulogize. We know how to talk good about the person that passed.
Yeah, I can remember.
But you got to talk to the people that's alive.
Yeah. Remember, I remember being at the wedding. I went at the funeral. There's this dude that cat was in the streets. Man.
Yeah.
Cat was in the
Mm.
streets. And died to gun violence, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just remember the pastor like, man, bro, no matter what he was doing, y'all can't say y'all don't remember that smile.
Dude can say that. He was out here thug life, bro.
That's what he got.
I smile.
Bruh,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah,
Bro,
to bring
that's
something relatable.
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
man. No, for real though. Yeah, man.
But y'all, we gotta. That's any etiquette though, y'all.
Yeah.
If you're not supposed to be talking, shut up. That's simple.
Yeah,
And I know everybody ain't grew up in church or everybody don't know.
for sure.
So listen, at 7:58 p.m. if you live right now, James is telling you, do not put yourself in situations that didn't call for you to be put in.
Righteous,
Period.
no, for real.
Right.
Don't fight folk fights. Don't put yourself on program. That's just common sense, y'all. And I know everybody ain't got common sense. So
Right.
I
You
am
would think it
teaching you
is.
now.
You would think it is.
But y'all, we gotta learn also just how to grieve. And I can't teach you how to grieve.
Right.
I grieve the way I grieve. But what I will tell you is grieve. Do it. Because if you don't, it's going to blow up at the wrong
For sure.
time.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow up at the wrong time.
Yeah. Hey, piggyback real quick while we on death.
What's up?
And we here who are still living. I've heard a lot of old wise men say this. You write, speaking of eulogies, you write your own eulogy.
Woo!
So what you doing while you living, whether good or bad, when it comes to your point in time where they have the memorial or celebration of life service for you, you make it easier on the family and quote unquote the minister who's giving the message at the time to really have the words to really help uplift.
Yes.
Your dash. Working on your dash.
Right, working on your dash, your in between. So if you not thinking about what you're doing in life right now, if you don't have any visions, you don't have any goals or dreams, no ambition, no thirst for life, start praying to God and really be like, hey, what you got for me, man? What do I need to see? What do I need to hear? And after you say that prayer, please spend the rest of your life really going forward and looking forward.
Yes.
Don't just be praying a prayer, just be praying, oh God, I want you to deliver me for this situation.
Yeah. Give me some.
If you asking for a way out, start looking for the way out.
Yes.
Right? So
That's heavy.
you got to do your part. I know we all up here, we all come from different walks of life, but one thing, Nick said this before we got started, real recognize real. So if you really understand, you real with yourself, you real with God, you real with the people around you, help is on the way.
Most definitely.
Do your part. We got to do our work. You feel me? But continue.
Man, y'all, there's no easy way to grieve, and there's no easy way to tell you how to. One thing I just want to tell you is it's okay to feel.
Yeah.
So not only is it okay to feel, but it's okay to question God, what you doing? Because a lot of folks, you should never question God. Man, shut up. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You know how many times I question God? God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why did you allow this?
Yeah.
You've been talking about life more abundantly, and you just killed the vibe.
Yeah, for real.
And God sometimes will allow things to die in your life, for somebody to die in your life. And not just physical death, y'all. There's some friendships that God will allow to die, and you got to grieve that.
Yeah.
I've seen people be friends 20-some, 30-some years, and they had to grieve not being friends no more.
That's major.
Folk grieving because they can't talk to their family no more.
Yeah.
Because of a situation that happened.
Right.
People done been sexually assaulted. I can't talk to that uncle no more. Grieve that, bro. We got to grieve properly.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened to you. Let God heal you.
That's real.
Let God heal you. And no, it wasn't fair. And yes, it does hurt. And no, I can't explain it. How does it feel? It sucks. That's how it feels. But let God heal you. While you're mad, allow God to heal you. There's been times I've been mad at my grandma, but she still loved me. I still loved her and respected her. And folk gotta quit taking this notion that we can't be mad at God. There's been times preaching, God gave me the word, and I was mad
That's major.
because it's for it happens. And I'm not gonna cookie coat whatever they say, cookie cut whatever it's
Yeah.
called, and tell you that if you're a believer, you won't get mad at God. There is going to come a point in time where you be like, God, what are you doing? Because my path and your path are two different paths right now,
For sure.
and I'm kind of irritated.
Mhm.
But just because you have those feelings does not mean that you have abandoned God or nothing. It's just being real. Be real with yourself. This is a sucky situation. This situation has caused me to hurt,
Yeah.
and nobody likes hurting. But
sure.
I'm going to get through it with the Lord's help, with this hurt that I'm feeling. And so that's how we deal, with grieving, the loss of a loved one, the loss of anything. Allow yourself to feel.
Please.
You can feel. You're human. God made you emotional. And men, stop saying, I don't get emotional. Yes, you do.
Yeah. You do, Doc.
Let the Cowboys lose another game and see.
America's team, right?
Let your favorite team lose.
Let them folks not give you that check.
Yeah.
That's an emotion.
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Come
Let
out of
somebody
somebody's
talk
pocket.
to your
Let them folks pay.
talk to your lady any kind of way. Call out her name or call your mama out there. And you gonna be like, well, hold up, bruh. We're gonna regulate.
Be clear.
A little bit of straightening.
A little bit.
Nothing too serious.
Nothing too
A little bit of straightening.
Hey, chill
Yeah,
out.
I'm
Like,
finna
chill out, bro.
demonstrate.
What you doing? Like,
Don't make me demonstrate.
but it's okay to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the notion is that men, we're not supposed to feel. We're supposed to be these tough guys. I'm tough. I be thugging for the Lord now. But I feel.
Right.
If I see somebody hurting, bro, I ain't gonna be like, dry them tears up, my boy. No,
Right.
I'm gonna cry with you. Jesus is God himself and cried with Mary and Martha when Lazarus died, knowing he gonna raise him up.
Knowing.
And he still cried.
Yeah.
Why? Because he empathized. He sympathized with us.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel.
That. Yeah.
We got to be able to grieve properly. Y'all, any last remarks before we get off here? The time is slipping away from me.
Crazy, bud. Hey, P. I mean, what I got, I think I said this on a pod before. What's that? That song, Sweep Around Your Own Front Door.
Got a broom right now.
Yeah, that boy said at the end of towards the song, he said, take 6 months to mind your own business and take another 6 months to leave other folks alone. That's a whole year, right? And I'm not saying that to seclude yourself, but sometimes, like James said, you too busy hopping and hooling and trying to be on program or try to get some type of limelight or shine, some type of pat on the back when you ain't taking time to see what God wants you to do.
Right.
So if we could start being more focused on that, staying in your own lane, and when you do that, the accolades gonna come. You gonna get the pats on the back. You gonna get the round of applause.
Talk about it.
You gonna get it, and guess what? What's for you is for you. Can't
Right.
nobody take it away. And it's almost, you feel superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you really stay diligent on what is for you, it's so much peace that come with it. And the
Right.
older I'm getting, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just want some peace. Because all around me in this world is straight chaos. Like James said, and we've been dealing with grief as far as like the physical deaths and losing people. And I ain't gonna lie, man, within the last 3 months,
It's been
I
crazy.
know it's been like 10 to 15 people that I know
personally.
that have passed. As one of the ladies at my church, she said, God's been having a lot of gatherings lately.
Yeah.
He's been calling the few. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, like you say, they was about that life. And some of them was like, really, like, why them?
Right.
You know? And like James and Nick said, those are ones for me that I've been processing like, okay, God, like you say, my days are numbered. What do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say take 6 months to mind your own business. Take another 6 months, leave other folks alone. Get off right now, thank you for being on Facebook.
I was about to say.
We appreciate you for that.
I was about to say, just don't tell her to get off Facebook
Right,
yet.
no, not yet.
We appreciate you.
But during the week, just start minimizing your time as far as
Yes.
being
Yeah,
distracted.
Tuesday through
Yes.
Sunday. But
Right.
Mondays, we would love to have you here at 7
Right.
p.m. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah.
Straight up. So get the right help. Start investing in yourself
Yes.
and investing in things that you desire to be in those places.
Personal
you know what I'm saying?
development.
Personal
Personal
development. We talk
development.
about that all the time, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have personal development, no diss listening to, some Sexy Red or some other type of artists who really on demon time, so to
Yes.
say. It's
True
the stuff that's
demon
not
time.
really helping your spirit. We trying to grow the spirit, man. It's very
Mhm.
important, very vital for your health, for your life, for your growth, for your development. Because
Yes.
what you're doing, and I meant to say this earlier, guys, because I know I never was taught the grieving process.
Right.
Right? If we get it, anybody that's in our circle will be able to help them get it.
Right.
And that's what's been a problem with most of the church or this life period is people never had the proper foundation to really work through things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just going off what Junebug then was on. What
No,
Ray
for
Ray
real.
with them was
No,
on.
for real.
You know what I'm saying? What Granny was on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I didn't know where to stand. I remember one preacher was talking about the seasoned ladies, the mothers of the church, and they used to always have their purses, but they'd be so heavy. At first, I was like, man, they must got a lot of candy or something in them joints. But later on, I realized they was packing.
Mother Johnson got that Uzi in
Granny
there.
got the smoke. I didn't know Granny had the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So it's us learning proper etiquette, as we said, learning this grief etiquette, learning life etiquette,
Right.
getting our skills mentally, physically, and doing what we can for ourselves, and in return, we'll do for our family and in our community.
So stay right there too.
Yes, sir.
I love where you at.
Yeah.
I know we kind of short on time too, there, Jay.
Yeah.
But this is a quick thing that I was thinking about. Even when you hear personal development, what do y'all think about?
For me,
First word do you think about when you think about personal development?
I think health.
Yeah.
You think health?
Yeah.
What you think?
I think mindset wise.
Okay.
Changing your mind.
Okay. And there was no wrong answer to that,
Right.
by the way.
Mhm.
But both of those definitely are key. I think majority of the world thinks like you said when you hear personal development, you think something I need to learn or something. But I look at it more so as like practicing. Like, you know what I mean? When you play the piano, like you develop personally. When you eat right, you developing personally. When
Yeah.
you listen to music, you developing yourself personally.
Right.
These are all things. You got so many gates into your body. So many gates. And so like what you put in, you become.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like make sure that you always paying attention to the things that you consuming. And when I say consume, you only think what you eating.
Right.
No. What you consume.
Yeah.
Put in that
For
fried
real.
chicken every day.
What you hear, what you see,
Yes,
what
sir.
you like for real. Me
Yeah.
and my brother was just talking today briefly, and I was just telling him like, yeah, bro, like we got to start watching where we go, watching what we being around, watching who we hang around.
Yeah.
Especially like seeing my brother, what happened to my brother, and that was like traumatizing.
Good for
Like
sure.
my brother's just now getting back to who he is. My other brother, I'm talking about.
Right.
He's just now getting back to where he,
Man.
you know what I'm saying, was like. And this happened, like I said, like 2018, 2019. Yeah, bro. So, I mean, and he's just now finding himself. He got 2 sons since then.
Wow.
And they haven't even been blessed to get the full him yet. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, yeah, bro. But honestly, God, truth, I would just, like, my last little piece of advice is, like, grieve how you want to grieve.
Yeah.
Allow other people to grieve how they want to grieve.
Right.
Even with the things that we joked about that may be annoying to see and you want to call out, it's definitely etiquette and try to appropriate yourself the best way you can. However, like still, even then looking at that, like it's something that's hurting them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would hate to think that somebody is doing that out of malice or any type of maliciousness. For sure. I feel like just even then, like, yeah, it's annoying to watch and see and observe, but let them do them. You know what I mean? Like, but like it is, everybody grieve different.
It's
You're
temporary.
right. You're
No,
right.
for real. And it's temporary.
It's
That's the
temporary.
biggest thing. Like, okay, this like
Just don't do it around me.
you know what I mean? Like James gonna call you out, by the way. let that be known. James call you out. He don't care.
Just don't do it around
James
me.
probably escort you on about back to the seat.
Hey, them ushers. Hey, my boy.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with
But
you.
no, seriously though, for real. It's just one of those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's already touchy.
Right.
And half the time, man, it's a lot that's going on in your mind to try to unpack.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
you already on top of whatever sicknesses that you're dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
On rip, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even
On
just talking about physical illness,
Right.
mental
Yeah.
illnesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you
Before
already
time,
did.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just try my best, like not to judge, well, you don't, because you don't know.
Yeah, you
You know what I'm
know.
saying?
you
You're only
don't.
speaking from your perspective,
Right.
and everybody not in their right mind.
Rep.
So,
Straight
yeah,
up.
man.
All fact, no fiction.
Real talk.
Y'all, we thank you again for joining the Lounge Talk. We gonna keep it real on here.
Yeah.
We gonna keep it 100 on this pod. Thank y'all so much for joining the Lounge Talk. And listen, if you're grieving, you're going through something, I will personally pray for you. You want to inbox me or inbox one of us, I will stop what I'm doing and pray for you, because listen, it is not an easy thing. So listen, you want the help, the things that I can't help with, I will do my best to find it for you. But listen, y'all, one thing I want to let you know or leave with you is how we get through losses or grief or anything is with the Lord Jesus Christ. I promise you. He understands. He feels you. So listen, I want to invite you to him first of all, and then we can talk about everything else. But listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining the Lounge Talk. I appreciate you. And next time, y'all, we're going to keep it even more 100
Yeah.
on this pod, y'all.
Straight up.
That's all we love to do is just talk it up and chat it up. And listen, if you got any topics, please let us know, because we will discuss them.
Right.
We will
Folks
discuss
grieve
them.
every day.
Folks grieve every
This is minus the barbershop talk.
Yeah, folks grieve every day. Let folks grieve, man.
Oh man, listen, I love y'all. Thank you. Y'all have a great rest of your night.
Straight up. Happy
And do me a
Thanksgiving.
favor, happy Thanksgiving. Eat the dressing
Right.
and stop eating chilling.
Love
I'm just
y'all,
messing with you.
man.
Love y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. What's good, my beautiful people? Thank you again for watching the Lounge Talk. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to dialogue with you and with Nick, Purnell, and myself. I love having our conversations. I love having our dialogue with each other. But do me a favor, if you haven't done so, please like and share the Lounge Talk. We are on Facebook and YouTube. If you have not done so, please like and share. Before I get off of here, I want to let you know that everything that we do is because of the love of Christ in our hearts. Listen, Jesus Christ is the reason why we get to do this thing right here. It's because of Christ, it's because of God that we are able to spread goodness and spread dialogue with each other. Listen, the main thing that we want to do is build the kingdom of Christ. It's all about Jesus. And so listen, do me a favor if you haven't done so. Please, again, like and share. And I want to let you know that I love you and I praise God for you. And let's build the kingdom of Christ together.